Welcome to Wrap It Up. My name is Nosikaelo. Super excited to be here. This is the channel that gives you a wrap up of all those trending news stories of the week. Nationally and internationally, remember to share this episode as many times as you can and to like and to subscribe to my channel. So many stories this week. Let's get into the first one. We learned of Bushy Maape being elected as the possible new premier of the Northwest. This after Mr. Mokgoro had a fallout with the interim committee complaining that he doesn't follow instructions. And then another trending story was of the Eastern Cape bus accident that happened, and 30 people were killed. This is after the bus driver lost control of the bus, and it was so sad to see those visuals of all the belongings that of the people that passed on from that bus accident, and it was just so tragic. And among the people that died, I remember there were infants there, and one of the survivors could even recall a mother screaming for her newborn child when that bus capsized. So it's a sad one, and may the souls of all those who passed on rest in peace. And then moving right along, we learned the news from the Gauteng Health MEC that about 23,000 girls between age 10 and 19 have fallen pregnant in 1 year. And this was a written report in response to the questions asked by the DA from the government, or rather the Gauteng provincial legislature. And I was so shocked. I said 23,000. Okay, the focus is on girls, but what about these boys that are impregnating these girls? What is the problem? Is it a societal thing? Is it because of lack of education? What is the matter? It really shocked me. 23,000 in a year, and that age gap. It's really concerning. I want to hear your views on that story. And then another trending sad story was of one lady aged 35 who deliberately poisoned herself and her two children aged 2 and 6. Unfortunately, she and the 2-year-old did not make it, and the 6-year-old survived. And it's just a catastrophic one, and the police have opened a case of murder and attempted murder. And on that note, may their souls rest in peace. Then there was the incentive that is being proposed to encourage vaccination. So this news came out from the Department of Health, and of course the Gauteng Premier is concerned about the number of people that are opting for vaccination. And on the other hand, the Johannesburg mayor is also concerned. He was actually on Jacaranda FM raising his concerns that more men have not come to be vaccinated, and that the number is very low of men that are actually getting vaccinations. So I'm really concerned that there's even an incentive that is being planned to be proposed for people to vaccinate. So what happens for those who don't want to vaccinate for their reasons? Why can't we be given other options? Because personally, I'm not comfortable with the vaccine at all. So what is the option for those people who do not want to be vaccinated or have second thoughts about being vaccinated? What's the option other than vaccination? There has to be. I am with those few people who've been protesting in different parts of the country against, the perceived politely forced manner for everybody to vaccinate. There has to be another way. Of course, we all want to be safe. Not that, some of us that are not interested or skeptical about being vaccinated, we do not adhere to regulations. Of course, we wear our masks, we sanitize our hands, and we also keep the social distancing. But what's being done for those people? There has to be another plan. That's just my view. What is yours? I'd like to hear your view on that story. And then another big one that shocked the country and is still having the country gripped with shock is the gruesome killing of the Eastern Cape, East London student Nosikaelo, who was murdered by her boyfriend. And not only that, but he mutilated her and put parts of her body in 2 suitcases. And, the country has been enraged by another instance of gender-based violence. And I will bring you an update on that story. But what we do know is that the suspect is actually arrested and will be making a court appearance next week. Then another trend was of the newly appointed National Assembly Speaker Nosiviwe Ngakula, who we all know that she's no stranger to corruption, and especially being known of using state resources for, political business. We saw that with the aircraft saga when she used the defense force aircrafts to actually push the political businesses, her personal political businesses. So I'm not happy with that appointment, as the rest of the country is not. So let's see what happens with that position, because it has been trending a lot, even on radio stations. It's been discussed that, is she fit to be, the National Assembly Speaker? What are your views? Do you think that she has what it takes, or she's going to do the same thing she's been doing in her other roles that she's been given by the government? Give me your views on that story. Then in the sports news, we saw the Orlando Pirates coach bowing out, Mr. Joseph, saying that he's had a great time at the club, and he was thankful to the supporters, and said that he's been away from his family for 2 years, and that is the reason why he resigned from Orlando Pirates. And we wish him all the best. And let's see what the future in Orlando Pirates looks like, and who's going to be the next coach. Right, last but not least, another trending story was of Bluefontaine Celtic, the cash-strapped club, being sold to Mr. Mkhize, and relocating in KZN and having a new name, Royal AM. The Bluefontaine Celtic supporters have been shattered, and they've been throwing in their views on social media on how sad they feel, and how they're going to miss Bloemfontein Celtic. But that's what it is, and it had to get to this point. That's a wrap up of all those stories that I had for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be back again next week. Shop shop.